Okay, we're going to get started. First of all, good afternoon. I'm glad you could be here today. My name is Scott Kernen. I'm one of the high school guidance counselors, junior high and high school. Mr. Nicholson, you can kind of see his bald head shining in the shadows of the light back there, is the other guidance counselor. And this is our College Credit Plus informational meeting, which is mandated by the state that we have every year. It's one of two meetings we'll have. We'll have another meeting Monday at the TCTC in the evening for people that couldn't make it during the day. Before I get started, I'm hoping that I have a student and a parent together because the law mandates that the student and the parent both attend the meeting. Mom's coming? Okay. So for the parents that are here, is there a child missing at all? Do we need to go get a child for any of the parents that are here? Everybody has a child. Okay, good. Good. All right. Everyone has a handbook, I hope, and if you're here, I'm assuming you signed in out there. We need to keep records of who attended the meeting. So we'll get started and we'll kind of follow along on this handbook. I'll try not to read everything verbatim because I know all of you can read. But we'll go to page 3 and we'll talk about what College Credit Plus is. And I'll just give you a little history. College Credit Plus used to be part of post-secondary options. Do I have any parents that participated in post-secondary options when they were in high school? Anybody do that? Anybody take college classes when they were in high school? You parents? Okay. All right. So post-secondary options has evolved into what the state is now calling College Credit Plus. Post-secondary options used to be twofold, taking college classes at the college on their campus, and then what they call dual enrollment classes, where college classes were taught on the high school campus. And basically, College Credit Plus is the same type of thing. They just made it one name and called it College Credit Plus instead of post-secondary options. Okay? So College Credit Plus started last year, 2015-16. As I said, it evolved from post-secondary options. Students in grades 7 through 12 can participate in College Credit Plus. And, I'll just throw this out here now. If you are a younger student, like going into 7th grade, very rarely do we find that type of kid that is mature enough, academically strong enough to be ready to be taking college credit classes. And I'm going to get into a lot of these details later, but we want the type of kid that's college ready, academically and socially ready as well to handle everything that goes along with being a college student. Okay, the eligibility for College Credit Plus. Now, first of all, I'll backtrack just a second. College Credit Plus is basically you're taking college classes while you're in high school. It can look in several different forms. We offer college classes here in math on our campus through Mr. Hott, and I'll get to details later on that. You can take college classes at a university, and it's really not limited to any specific university, and I'll talk more detail about that. And you can take online classes through universities, okay? And currently, we have students taking college classes here on our campus. We have students taking online classes, and we have students attending traditional college classes on campus. So all three of those things are being done right now by our students. The eligibility to take and be admitted into College Credit Plus is different for each university. The law states that to be admitted to College Credit Plus, the university cannot have any higher standards than what their standards are for any other traditional student. So if you were a graduated senior and you wanted to apply for college, whatever YSU's standards are for admittance, whatever Kent Trumbull's standards are to gain admission into the university, they are not allowed to have higher standards for CCP students in high school. But, and this, you always have the big but to take certain classes, there are specific requirements, okay? Generally, we deal mainly with 2 universities. And a lot of it is because of the closeness of the college. We deal with Kent Trumbull quite a bit, and we deal with Youngstown State. Youngstown State we deal with because Mr. Hott, one of our math teachers, is a professor at YSU in the evenings, and he is certified through YSU to be a CCP teacher through our high school. Okay, and Kent Trumbull we've dealt with for years now. I've been a guidance counselor for probably, I don't know, 17, 18, 19 years. And we've dealt with Kent Trumbull for as long as I've been here, and prior to that as well. Kent Trumbull's nice to deal with because it's only 15 minutes away, okay? And so those are the 2 main universities we deal with. And back to the eligibility as far as getting into the program, they look heavily at ACT scores, okay? Now, students only here. How many students are sitting in this room and have not taken the ACT? Raise your hand. Okay, so I hope you are scheduled to take the ACT in April then, okay? Because that's going to be the last test you can take that will get you in as far as meeting the deadlines to be admitted into College Credit Plus. In Kent Trumbull's general guidelines to be admitted into College Credit Plus is a cumulative GPA of 3.0 and a 21 on the ACT. And when I say the general guidelines, they don't have anything really set in stone, but the key is this. To take a college credit class, you cannot take any remedial classes at all. So when you go, after you apply to College Credit Plus, YSU and Kent, no matter where you go, they're going to make you take a placement test in like math and reading and English. And if you qualify to take remedial classes, meaning you're not college ready, then they're not going to admit you. So no matter what your ACT score is, they're going to make you take placement tests. And if you're not ready, if they determine you're not college ready, meaning you've tested into remedial courses, then you're not going to be admitted. Okay, YSU has some specific admission requirements as well for the math classes taught here. And those requirements are an 18 in English, part of the ACT, a 21 in the reading section, and a 22 on the math. Okay, and just to give you an idea of ACT scores, the national average is about 20.5, somewhere around there, okay? So they want you to be college ready. And the university itself will determine whether you get into College Credit Plus. So if you're interested in attending Kent Trumbull will tell you whether you got in or not. If you're thinking about taking Mr. Hott's math classes through YSU, then YSU will admit you or decline you. Okay, it's not through Newton Falls guidance. All we are the people that handle the records and submit your transcripts and kind of the facilitator of the process. Okay. How to apply for College Credit Plus. Everything's online nowadays. When we first started in guidance, our guidance office was stacks full of applications from Kent, YSU, Ohio State, all over the place. And now everything's done online. And we're going to take a look at both Kent Trumbull's website and YSU's website, and we're going to talk and show you where you apply for those universities. The cost of College Credit Plus. There is no cost to the student or the family for College Credit Plus. Newton Falls schools will incur the cost of College Credit Plus. Now, there's a long process of how that works. Basically, students apply, get admitted, the university bills the state bills the school, and then the school ends up paying for it. So this is a huge cost on all our school systems in Ohio. The process is a good process. It's beneficial to families and students, but it has become a financial burden for schools around our state. Notice I'm on page 4 when I'm talking about College Credit Plus. The only time a family or student's going to incur a cost for College Credit Plus is if they withdraw from a class after, and I think there's a typo there, got pointed out to me. Maybe it's is that a different page, Mr. Hastings? Yeah. Okay, we'll get to it. Students will only be charged if they withdraw after the penalty-free time period or fail the course. Okay, and we're going to touch base on that a few times tonight. Like I said, when you apply and get admitted, your books are free, tuition's free, the universities drop any fees that they normally charge normal college students. So everything's free, but as soon as you try to drop a class after a certain time, then you're going to end up paying for those costs. If you fail a class, you're going to end up reimbursing Newton Falls for the cost of that class, okay? When you apply, and I don't have this written down, but we'll go over it, and if you have something to write with, when you apply, there's 2 options for College Credit Plus. Option A and option B. You always want to do option B. Option A is a choice that you can do, but you pay for everything. And then you're only getting college credit. Option B is the choice you want. That's where the school pays for the cost of the tuition, and you get college credit and high school credit both. Okay? You want option B. The only reason why you would ever want to choose option A would be if you were a 4.0 student. How many 4.0s do I have here? Okay, a couple. If you're a 4.0 student and right now you're sitting as valedictorian, but you really want to take some college classes, but you don't want to jeopardize getting a B or a C in one of those college classes, and you don't want to jeopardize ruining your valedictorian status. So I've never had anyone do it in 18 to 20 years of being in guidance, but if you want to pay for the college class yourself and not worry about it affecting your high school GPA, then you would choose option A. But I'm telling you, you're probably going to want to choose option B because it's free. Okay, let's talk about the courses offered at Newton Falls on our campus, built right into our schedule. Okay, those are, again, with Mr. Hott in their math courses. Okay, the first class would be our traditional trig calc class. Okay, so how many of you students have Algebra 2 at this point? Okay, the next math class that you're going to want to take is trig calc. Okay, and again, this is nice. First of all, we got a great teacher. Mr. Hott does a great job. Second of all, he's a YSU professor, okay? He's certified to teach this class and issue YSU credits. So the trig calc class, which is all year, if you get admitted into the CCP program through YSU, you're going to end up getting 7 semesters credits for that class. Now, YSU doesn't call it Trig Calc. The first part of that class is going to be college algebra. And, you know, college classes, if you've ever been to college, they've got code numbers and all that. It's YSU 1510, college algebra. That's a 4-semester hour class, okay? And then the second half of the year, you have YSU 1511, which is trigonometry. That's 3-semester hours. 3-semester hours. So you're getting 7 semesters of math, college math credits for Trig Calc, okay? Now, and I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but how's this work? You're going to get 7 semesters of college credit that's going to be on a college transcript. You're starting your college career, and you're also going to get 2 high school credits. Because anything that counts as 3 semester hours or more is equal to 1 high school credit, okay? So not only are you getting 7 credits of college, but you're getting 2 high school math credits in 1 year. All right? Now, there'll be students in that class taking Trig Calc right alongside you that won't be admitted into that college class, into CCP, and they're only getting 1 high school credit. But because you are taking the CCP credits, you're not only getting 7 semesters of college classes, but you're getting 2 high school math credits. Now, along with that, you have to pass a final exam. That's YSU's final exam. If you don't pass it, you don't pass the class. And also, if you don't pass the class, you don't get your high school credit as well. Okay? And I'll talk more about that. Now, how many of you have Trig Calc right now and want to take Advanced Calc next year? Okay, and you're not in CCP this year, right? Okay, so you're going to apply for CCP. Hopefully you get in. And you're going to take our Advanced Calc class, which is equivalent to YSU's through Mr. Hott, YSU 1571, which is Calc 1, and YSU 1572, Calc 2. And those are 4 semester hours each. You'll leave here with 8 semesters of college credit, okay? All right. If you have questions, feel free to raise your hand. We're going to be real informal. And if I don't know an answer, I'll be the first one to tell you, yeah. Okay. So, you know, that's part of, where's that at? The question for our videographer or whatever you want to call Chad. We'll call him Chad. Our question is, she's been told a lot of YSU credits don't transfer. Now, here is my experience and what I know. State school to state school in Ohio, it's going to transfer. And again, I'll throw the but out there. But will it apply specifically to a class that you're transferring to, okay, or to the college you're going to? For example, I went to YSU for 2 years and transferred to Kent. And they took all my credits, but all of them didn't specifically apply necessarily to Kent's, you know, curriculum. So, having said that, there is on page, let's see, page 7, it talks about the transferability of CCP credits. And there are 2 websites that I have there for you that if you want to do your research, like if you know you're not going to YSU eventually, you can start doing the research now and say, hey, this is what I'm taking at YSU. What will it specifically transfer if I'm going into biology at OU? You know, I'm just making this up. And will this specifically transfer? So to answer the question, you know, will they all transfer? From state school to state school, they should. But will they specifically? From state school to private school, maybe. Okay? Let's talk about College Credit Plus and student schedules. So I've got kids currently that do Mr. Hott's math credits through CCP and also taking Kent Trumbull courses on campus. And I have some kids taking Kent Trumbull online, all right? So how does that work with your schedule? To answer that, it's like a puzzle. First of all, we rely on Mr. Crowder to do the master schedule here at Newton Falls. And whenever that gets done, that's set in stone. Now, obviously, the math courses are going to be built right into the schedule. As part of Trig Calc and Advanced Calc, they're part of our 9-period schedule. Okay, so we definitely know when those are going to be. But let's say you want to take a class at Kent Trumbull, and it's 9:30 to 10:45. Well, now you know you got to leave here by 9 to get over there, park your car, walk into the campus, get situated in your class. All right, so you got to leave here by 9, so that takes away second period for sure. The class is till 10:45. You won't get back till 11:15, so you're all the way through fifth period. All right, so you have an opportunity to take first period at Newton Falls. Second, third, fourth basically are eaten up by driving and taking the class at Kent Trumbull. So then you only have left 6, 7, 8, and 9 to take classes at Newton Falls. So it's like a puzzle. We've had kids apply for Kent Trumbull CCP, get accepted, and really want to take specific classes here that are offered certain times. And when we tried to match them up and tried to work things into their schedule with Kent and here, they've just said, you know what, it's not working out, and they just withdraw their CCP status. Okay, and you can do that. Now, more and more increasingly, we have online classes at the college that kids are taking. Okay? Now, I'm going to warn you about something. Online classes at the universities, a lot of people may have this stereotype of them, well, they should be easy. I don't have to attend class. I don't need a driver's license. You might be sitting here as a young student saying, well, good. I'm young. I don't have my driver's license. I'll take an online class. But they can be tough. What usually happens is the universities and professors almost overcompensate for the fact that you're not in a traditional setting, lecturing, discussing, interacting, so they're going to pour the workload on you. So if you're thinking about doing online, I'm going to throw a little warning out there. Be ready to work your tail off on some of those online courses. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Right. Right, and like I said, I think it's just to justify that the students are getting the workload out of it as just like they are in the classroom. I did the same thing. I took an Intro to Leadership class through Concordia University, and I thought, Intro to Leadership, I could do that with my eyes closed. By the time I was done, I was writing 22-page papers and sick of it. Yeah. Correct. Right. So the question is, the difference of Newton Falls courses are mainly either a semester or all year, and Kent courses or college courses are semester, and even I'll throw in their Monday, Wednesdays, Tuesday, Thursdays. How does that all work? Again, it's like a puzzle. We do the best we can. If you're taking College Credit Plus, we want you to take fall and spring courses. We don't want you to just take a fall semester and then take the next semester off. So we do want you to go back to back on that. Okay. The online courses are nice for students involved in extracurricular activities. How many people are in band or drama or sports? Okay, so, you got practice right after school. All right, so sometimes they'll look at a schedule and say, oh, I can take this Kent class at, 3 o'clock. That's perfect. I don't have school. Oh, but I play soccer, or I play basketball, or whatever. Or I have drama or band performances. These are all things to consider. So the online can be a nice feature, but again, I told you about the red flag about the online courses. Down at the bottom of page 5, how many high school credits are you getting for College Credit Plus courses? So again, I mentioned it earlier, if a college class is worth 3 semester hours or more, 3, 4, 5 semester hours, you're going to get 1 high school credit, okay? If it's worth 2, you're going to get 0.67. If it's worth 1 semester hour, you're going to get 0.33, okay? So for example, you take College Writing 1 at Kent, and you take that fall semester, you take College Writing 2 second semester. You're going to end up getting 4 high school credits of English right there, okay? Because College Writing 1 is 3 semester hours, College Writing 2 is 3 semester hours, okay? On page 6 is a little graph, a little chart showing the combination of number of hours that you can take, okay? You are allowed to take up to 30 semester hours in a year of college classes. I've never had anybody do it. I don't expect anyone to do it. And I'm going to get to advantages and disadvantages later, but I want you to remember, you are a high school student. Some of you in here are even younger than that. You're only in high school once. There's time to be an adult for the rest of your life. Don't try to grow up too fast. And I also understand as a parent, I understand firsthand how expensive college is. So I know you are also sitting there as a parent saying, let's knock as many of these things out as we can, and let's save some families some money. But you need to consider all things, including your child, if they're college ready or not. Are they socially ready for this? What will they miss by attending college classes, being away from school, being on campus? There's a lot of things that go into it, and I'll get to that later. Okay, how does this affect your GPA in high school? Well, let's just think about something. You take a college class and you get an A in your College Writing 1 class or in Mr. Hott's math class. That's good. That goes on your college transcript as an A. And you start off good. And it also goes on your high school transcripts. Goes, hey, you get 2 credits for that. And you get, if you get an A, you end up getting 8 quality points because it's actually 2 credits rather than 1. I probably wrote that wrong down there too, now that I think of it. You get an A in a 3 semester hour class, you get 2 high school credits, 8 quality points. And if you've ever computed GPAs, that your quality points and your credits go into the calculation. But, again, the but, if you fail that class, or if you get a D, or anything lower than an A, it could possibly, depending on where your status is GPA-wise, it could bring your high school GPA down. I have one young gal who's a very smart freshman, really smart kid, took an online English class as a freshman this year. And I truly believe she had the potential to be 4.0 valedictorian. Well, she got a B in the fall at Kent. So right there, knocks her out of valedictorian status if anyone gets a 4.0, which normally we have at least 3, 4, 5 students get 4.0s. So right there, she's just ruined that. Now, is it the end of the world? No. But if one of her goals was to be valedictorian, that B at Kent went on her high school transcripts, and now she's not valedictorian. Possibly. Okay? So everything you get in college, it will go on your high school transcripts as well. Does anybody have any questions about that? Because that's really important. And if you fail this class, and you needed it for high school graduation, and you were a senior, you don't graduate. And we've had that. We've had seniors taking English at Kent that got a little senioritis, a little springtime fun, and decided not to attend the college class. And I'm talking smart kids that ended up failing the college class, and they were substituting it for a high school English class, and they did not graduate. They did not get to go through commencement. Their family was mad, embarrassed. So those are conversations when you go home from here, you sit down with your child and you say, hey, listen, you do this, you better do it well. Okay? Page 7 talks about what we were discussing earlier, transferability of CCP credits. And I'm not going to read through that. The one website I would encourage you to go to, if you know specifically where you eventually want to go, is go to that transferology.com and make as many phone calls as you can. Say, hey, I'm taking this class at YSU. My son or daughter would like to go to wherever. And will it transfer? Will it transfer for something specific? Okay? Let's move on. All right, let's talk about some advantages and risks or disadvantages of doing CCP. I've already said a few. Obviously, you're getting some credits for free. You're getting an early start on college. You're building your transcripts for college. There's advantages if you come in with into your freshman year of college with a few semester hours under your bag. Then you have the advantages of maybe scheduling a little bit earlier, things like that. I want to focus on the risks, though. What are some of the disadvantages? If you take classes at Kent Trumbull, and we've never had students drive to YSU for classes just because it's a little further compared to Kent Trumbull, but that is an option, okay? But if you have to drive to campus, anything we're doing here, you're missing, okay? So, for example, I know Mr. Bogus teaches government, senior government. And let's say you want to take a college class and substitute the college class for senior government. You can do that. But I know Mr. Bogus does a nice job in government, and there's certain things that you're going to want to be part of as a senior with the rest of your class in your groups doing in that government class. Okay? And if you're taking classes at Kent or YSU or wherever you're taking and you're not here, you're missing out on your high school time. And I said it before, you're only young once. And when you leave here, you're probably never going to see most of your friends again. So you want to enjoy your high school experience as much as possible. Now, having said that, there's some of you sitting here that are saying, I really don't like it here. I don't like the people here. And I've had that. I won't tell you a name, but I had a girl that seemed to be pretty mature for her age and thought that the other students were pretty immature. And she ended up doing almost her whole day at Kent State. Okay? So you have to know yourself, and you have to know if you're ready to do that. And you have to be willing to miss out on certain things. We may have a pep rally that you really want to go to, but you have a class. at Kent. And, you might miss it. When you go to a college class, especially the ones on campus, parents, there's going to be other college students there. They could care less that your child is in high school. And I will say this, parents of daughters, there'll be college boys there. Okay? And I don't have to say anything else. Okay? You get my hint. Socially, you need to be mature. I told you about one student that didn't graduate. He's not the only one. I had a young lady when I first started, had about 30 semesters of college credit and never got her high school diploma because she got senioritis. When you leave our campus and go to your college class, we don't track you. We don't have a GPS system on you. We're not calling the professor, hey, did she make it to class? Did she do her homework? No. You are on your own. You are a college student. Nobody is going to check up on you. If you don't do your work, nobody's calling me, and nobody's calling mommy or daddy. We're going to get a transcript at the end that says whatever you got, you got. That's what's different about high school and college. None of the teachers are going to make any exceptions for you academically. You're expected to do the course exactly like every other college kid. There's costs that come along with taking classes on campus, if that's what you're choosing to do. I guess I should just have people, how many students are interested in taking classes on campus next year? Raise your hand. Okay, just a hand. How many students are only looking at doing Mr. Hott's classes here at Newton Falls? Okay, so we have a little bit of both. For those kids that are planning on driving, you better have reliable transportation because we're not transporting you. We do not do that. You want to go to Kent, you drive to Kent. And if your car breaks down, the professor will not care. Yes? Right, exactly. We have school closing at Newton Falls and Kent Trumbull's open. You better go to class. And parents, as your child drives away in that snowstorm, are you comfortable, with them driving, and are they going to be safe? And those are things to consider. I've mentioned the opportunities as far as extracurricular activities, if you play sports or in drama or band, things like that, and you have classes at Kent or wherever, then you need to go to those classes, and you're going to miss out on a little bit. You can read through those, but I think I've touched on most of them. Okay, how do I know if my student is ready for College Credit Plus? Are they an independent learner? Are they able to work independently and grasp concepts quickly? Are they organized? You need to be organized. Okay, you can't be sloppy and procrastinate. Do they get to things on time? Are they prepared academically? Are they socially prepared and are they mature? Do they communicate well? Or are you parents that have to communicate for them? Okay? That's something to think about. If they're not able to speak up for themselves and ask questions, if you're the type of parent that's, my wife calls it the helicopter parent, that hovers around your child and does everything for them, then they're not ready. Okay, page, I can't see, I'm getting old, 9. Important dates to remember. We'll just go through those real quick. February 26th, that's today. Here's an informational meeting. There's another one on the 29th. March 4th is the last day to register without late fee. It's late fee. Typo. Without a late fee for the ACT. Okay. When you register for the ACT, always list Newton Falls to get your scores. Okay. There'll be an opportunity when you register. If you haven't registered for the ACT, it's www, if you want to write this down, actstudent.org. www.actstudent.org. List Newton Falls to get your scores, and because of College Credit Plus, list Kent State Trumbull and YSU to get your scores as well. Okay, March 23rd will be the YSU Summer Application Day. Now, this is a new, College Credit Plus is changing every day. This is the first year that College Credit Plus can be done during the summer. Okay? So students have the opportunities to apply and get accepted and do CCP in the summer. Now, another red flag. How many of you have taken a college class in the summer? Okay, got a handful. What do you know about that? I'm not sure what you said, but 15 weeks and 5 weeks. They're going to cram it, and they're going to go fast, and you better be ready. And if you got a vacation planned, too bad. You're not going on vacation. If you got a sports camp that you plan on going to, too bad. You better not go. Okay, yes? Right. Okay. So I would really be hesitant. If you want to apply to do CCP in the summer, you can do so. We're dealing with two universities, and some of their dates are different. So as we go through here, March 23rd is going to be the application day here on our campus. We're going to have a representative from YSU come in. If you would like to do a summer or a YSU summer class, we will do the application on March 23rd. Okay? Now I'm going to kind of contradict myself a little bit. The next date I have is 4/1/16, April 1st. That is the last day you can turn. I think it's the last page of your handout. Look at your last page. This is a letter of intent to participate in College Credit Plus. You have to let Newton Falls Guidance Office know through this letter that you do intend on participating in College Credit Plus. And that has to be done by April 1st. As you leave today, I would like to collect them all from you so that you don't have to worry about taking them home and bringing them back. Even if after I speak you say, I don't think we're going to do this, turn one in anyway so I have it on file. It doesn't mean you are going to do it. Doesn't mean you're going to apply. It just means that you've turned it in and you intend on doing it. Okay? There's no penalty for turning one in. Now notice the YSU Summer Application Day is before that letter of intent's due. We'll do the application day. I'll have your letter of intent today, hopefully. Now, the next, also on April 1st, is the YSU summer application deadline. Now, notice on March 23rd, I have an application day where the representative's coming in to assist your child with the application. The actual deadline's April 1st. Then April 9th is the April ACT. Again, if you plan on doing CCP and you do not have an ACT test, that's the last one you can do to be accepted into the CCP program. April 13th, that is going to be our application day for YSU for fall and spring semester. So they're going to come back let's say you don't have any intention on doing summer school, but you plan on doing Mr. Hott's math classes. That day, the representative will come and we'll do applications for YSU for fall and spring semester. May 1st is the actual deadline for YSU's fall and spring application deadline, and it's also KSU Trumbull's application deadline for summer and fall. So you see there's some differences there in dates depending on the university. Some final thoughts and things to remember. You are entering a relationship with a college and are responsible for all requirements and policies set forth by the college. So when you get admitted into the program, depending on Kent Trumbull, YSU, what have you, you got to follow their rules, whatever they may be. Textbooks. Let's talk about textbooks. The math class is taught by Mr. Hott. We don't need to purchase anything. You don't need to go to YSU's bookstore to get anything. It's all good. We have all the materials we need. Kent Trumbull. If you go to Kent Trumbull, take a class, whether it's on campus or online, all you need to do, once you get accepted, you'll go to the bookstore, tell them your name. It's Barnes & Noble's bookstore on campus there. Tell them your name, let them know your CCP for Newton Falls, and they'll have your books there. Take your schedule with you, though. Eventually, you'll get a schedule of your classes you're taking at Kent, and they'll get them to you. They're free, paid for by Newton Falls. Okay? The key is don't lose them, and don't junk them up, because at the end of the semester, you're going to have to return them to me or Mr. Nicholson. We take them to our treasurer, and the treasurer sells them back to the university, and if they're damaged or you lose them, then the cost comes back on you. Okay, and again, one more time, because it's important, students dropping a course after the penalty-free deadline of the semester or earning a failing grade, you will reimburse the district for all the costs for the course, including tuition and books. Okay, the next 2 pages I've included the guidelines for student athlete eligibility, and down at the bottom of that first page of those 2 sheets is an example of how eligibility works while taking a college credit class. And I'll just let you kind of go through that yourself and look through it. Okay, before we fill that letter of intent form out, let's talk about how kids do this. A lot of kids want to take, let's say, senior English. Instead of taking it here, they'll say, well, let me just do that at Kent, and that's fine. You can do that. So if you take College Writing 1, okay, that'll substitute for your senior English. I have kids sometimes that will say, well, I'd like to take Mr. Shelby as well. I'd like to take my senior English class, but I'm going to take that college class too. You can do that too. It just means you have more English credits. Okay, we've had kids do the government substitute. Okay, we'll have them take a social studies, history, government type class through Kent, and it'll substitute for our government class. We have kids that don't necessarily want to substitute anything, but they want to take a class that we don't offer here at the university. Maybe there's a foreign language class that we don't offer that they want to take. So they'll take it at the university. Will that substitute for anything here, maybe? For an elective? Yeah. Okay. And it's important that we communicate between Mr. Nicholson or myself and the college advisor. Robert Ridgel is a gentleman's name at Kent Trumbull that we deal with directly. He deals with all College Credit Plus students, okay? And then YSU has a team of people that deals with College Credit Plus people, or students, okay? So we want to make sure that you're on track to get your high school graduation credits as well as anything you want to take in college. And if you're substituting things, communication is very important, back and forth. So what other questions do you have? It is. Yeah, I have students in those classes now that are getting high school credit, didn't get admitted to CCP, and they're doing the same thing. Yeah. So let's take, we'll have some more questions answered if you would like. Let's just take a look at now remember, we have application day for YSU here. The lady's going to come out and we're going to sit down with all the students interested in doing YSU CCP, and we're actually going to do the online applications with each other. The Kent, let's go to Kent's site. If you want to write this down. Now, when I go here, I just Google Kent State, Trumbull, and College Credit Plus. And this is what comes up. And there's some information here that you could read through. It talks about option A, option B. Remember I said you want to do option B because that's where the tuition's free. And so on, so forth. And this is the oldest, slowest computer that Chad could find me. What's that? There's no application fee. No application fee. So if you go down to the bottom here, online application, okay, we'll just click on that. And we'll go over here to apply now. Okay, now right up top here, one of the forms on top of submitting the application online, there's this CCP permission form. And this is kind of like parental saying, okay, yeah, I'm okay with my kid doing this. And it also is saying you agree to the financial responsibility if your child fails a class. Okay, so that's something that would have to be printed out and filled out and turned into Mr. Nicholson or myself and we will send transcripts. You do the online application, we will send the transcripts and the financial responsibility form in. But continuing on, there are night classes, yes. So if you have no extracurricular activities that you feel it would interfere, that is an option, and it's a pretty good option as long as there's no interference. Exactly. Okay, so I'll begin new application, and at some point I'm not going to be able to continue. Domestic student, and this is important. The next thing after you click on domestic student for Kent Trumbull is you're going to want to click the right campus, Trumbull campus. Hit next. Okay, what term are you applying for? Drop down, fall, I'm assuming, or summer. And then you start, adding your email and all your identifying information. Okay, so that's an example of Kent's. And then YSU, this is their CCP site. And again, if you just Google Youngstown State University College Credit Plus, you'll get to all this stuff. And they do a nice job of, answering a bunch of questions on their page. And you can scroll down through here, get a bunch of information, most of it what I covered. Okay. And we are, again, we are going to do the YSU applications on our campus on those days that I gave you. Okay, so I did a lot of talking. You did a lot of listening. Some of you slept. Good job. What other questions can I answer for you? You can always call me, or Mr. Nicholson will be glad to answer the questions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Question is, can you do the YSU math and then also take a class at Kent Trumbull? Yes. Will it all work? That's yet to be seen as far as scheduling. Hopefully it does. Online will probably definitely work. Evening, probably definitely work, depending on activities. During the day, that's when it's going to get hairy, you know. So, and we'd have to apply to both then. You'd have to do two applications. Okay, what else? What other questions? All right. Again, if you have any other questions when you get home or what have you afterwards, we'll stick around a little bit and we'll answer anything. And like I said, the universities are in charge of who gets in, who gets admitted to the program. Okay? Thank you. Have a good night.